Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I am with my good friend, Rachel Oliver, who's actually helping me out with some clients. So we thought it'd be a great opportunity to share exactly the situation and what happened. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So Joel and Andrea are looking for a dream condo, and this is actually a listing of ours. I helped them find a rental place a few years ago in Mimico. They love it there, love the great neighborhood. We found this amazing, well, it's our listing, so they love it. They wanted to buy this condo. There's just one problem. The credit scores aren't great. And, thank you to my mortgage broker. She really worked day and night to actually just get them a loan. But the problem is it's with the B lender at a high rate of interest, 4.99%. And because of the situation, they're going to need 25% down, and they're going to have some fees, and with closing costs and everything, that's really going to stretch them too far, especially in kind of this time of uncertainty. So I said, hey, let's talk to Rachel about the assisted purchase program, and maybe she can help. So I'll cut to that conversation in a minute. I just want to talk a little bit about the current market, because that's also playing into their fears. So basically what's happening, before COVID happened, the market was on fire. It wasn't fun from trying to help buyers' perspective. We were losing out on bidding wars. Prices were up in March over 14% year over year. Basically we look at the 10-year average across the GTA, it was 7.4%. Now that's average across the GTA. You have to be careful because certain neighborhoods like the one they were in were still experiencing double-digit growth. And you may be surprised at the dip in the curve in 2018, but yes, we did have a market crash in 2018 when prices went down on average. In the core of Toronto, they actually kept going up, but on average, prices went down. So that's the little market background. So the fear is really what's going to happen, right? What's going to happen in the next year? What's going to happen in the next few years? What we're talking about is like, listen, long-term in the city of Toronto, the market will bounce back. The fundamentals of the market. So a lot of people want to live here. They want to rent. They want to buy here. There's lots of demand for property in the city of Toronto, but there's limited inventory, right? Especially houses. We're not making any more houses. We are building condos. So that's kind of helping a little bit, but the supply is not keeping up with demand. We're going to be short about 15,000 units per year for the next 10 years. So long run, the market is going to come back, and it's going to be a competitive market to buy into. But really the question is, especially for Joel and Andrea, what's going to happen in the next year, right? Because we are going to go into a recession. That's the forecast. GDP is going to shrink. So listen, I think there's three potential scenarios. And if anyone tells you they know it's going to happen, they're full of it, so don't listen to them. No one really knows, but it could be three things, right? One is we come out of the gate, restrictions get lifted, and we come out of the gate, people start jumping in to buy again, and maybe, people aren't ready to quite list yet to see what happens, and prices appreciate like that overnight. That's my biggest fear for buyers out there right now, is that the market just pops and they're, left on their feet. But could happen that maybe prices are flat, right? Some people have lost their jobs. They've been in temporary layoff. So, potentially the market could be flat for the next year and then go up. Or even the market could be down. The third scenario could be down in the short term. And then people will jump in and start buying, and they'll go back up again. So kind of with that in mind, what's going to happen in the next year, and then 2 or 3 years past that, we came to Rachel and say, listen, here's our situation. So to recap, we love this house. The problem is we're going to have a large mortgage rate, 4.99%, with a big down payment that we actually don't have the cash for right now. Rachel, can you help us think about this situation?
I can definitely help you with that. I'm actually going to jump into a quick chart that I'd like to share. It's a chart that I actually prepared for Andrea and Joel so that they can kind of see, based on that second scenario you provided where the market would be flat kind of going into 2021, and then it would be 10% every year after that. What's nice in our assisted purchase program, so if Joel and Andrea decide that they're not going to go with a B lender route and they're going to go into our assisted purchase program, in that case, what we're doing is we're locking in their purchase price 3 years out using a 5% annual appreciation. You said yourself, the last 10 years, the GTA has seen 7.4% averages. So we are locking in below those averages. And what we're basically saying is that they will be looking at this kind of a trajectory. So they're buying the property today through the assisted purchase program at 615. In 2021, the property will go up to about 645,000. By 2022, it'll be 678. And in 2023, they will be exiting the assisted purchase program and qualifying for an A lender mortgage. So they'll need less cash. They're going to have lower monthly payments, and they will be in a better position financially. But the best part here is that our assisted purchase program actually allows them to build up some equity. And here's how that's going to look on that second scenario. So the second scenario, you said we're going to flatline pretty much between the balance of 2020 and into 2021. So if we're flatlining that property that they are renting to own, the condo essentially is going to be valued at about $615,000 at fair market value, which is fine. Now, if you look, forward to 2022, that same property is now going to go up in value to 676, and by 2023, using that 10% trajectory, we're looking at an estimated 744,000. So what's really happening here is that Andrea and Joel will be buying that same condo for about $32,000 below market value, because actual will be at 744, and then that same condo that they've gone through the assisted purchase program to rent to own is going to be $711,000, and we lock that in now, so there's no surprises. It's very transparent. And one of the biggest questions that comes up from most home buyers we work with, including Andrea and Joel, they wanted to know what are their monthly payments going to look like. So I actually put together a chart for them, and I'm going to walk you through very quickly. I know there's a lot of information here, but we're going to just zero in on the key things. The down payment is very different. To go to a B lender, they would need 25%, as you've said. That amounts to $153,000. That's how much cash they would need. If they go to our assisted purchase program, in contrast, they would only need about $30,000. 5% is enough to get into our program. So they're not tying up as much capital. The other benefit is that the total monthly payment. The total monthly payment in a B lender scenario is about $3,200. In the assisted purchase program, it's $3,547, and that includes a $705 monthly cashback credit. So there's a down payment credit that they would accumulate each month, because that $30,000 they need to continue to add to it, and they add to it through their monthly payments, and that's already locked into that $3,547. So in actual fact, they're actually paying less, if you think about it, than they would be on that B lender. And then the other consideration is cash to close. To close on a B lender mortgage with 25% down, once you factor in, the lender fees and the land transfer tax, all of that adds up to $178,000. So do Andrea and Joel have $178,000?
No, they don't. That's the problem.
So I can see why they're concerned, because they're thinking, okay, well, if we don't have $178,000 to close, should we continue to rent? Or do we go into the assisted purchase program where monthly we're still able to handle the payments? Their income does support $3,547, and the cash to close in this case goes down substantially. They would only need about $31,000 on hand in order to get started, and then the program will basically lock them into to do the rest. Do you think $31,000 is going to be a lot more palatable for them?
Totally. And I mean, the great thing is there's with uncertainty right now, right? It gives them, they'll have a little bit of cash left over in case things happen in the next few months, to cover those costs, right?
Exactly. And they get, that's the best of both worlds. You're kind of locking in future value and future growth and future equity through this program, but you're also keeping that nest egg, or keeping that emergency fund, because everybody wants to have a sense of stability, and having a roof over your head that's going up in value, plus having money in that bank account, goes a long way, especially at a time like this. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do we come up with a budget and in terms of determining what someone can afford? You know, can Andrea and Joel actually get this $615,000 condo? Well, the real answer is their preferred area has to match the affordability that they have based on their income. So their household income really does matter. And in this case, Andrea and Joel have the combined household income to support the $615,000 purchase price. And in many cases, we can help home buyers get into our program with just 4 or 5% down payment. If they're essential workers, if they have stable employment, then we're able to look at their file and potentially help them get out of renting and into owning so that they don't get outpriced in the current market. And a lot of people also ask me, you know, what's the nitty gritty? How does it really work? And obviously in this Facebook Live call, I don't have time to answer the nitty gritty, but I can guide everyone to where they can find the information. We authored a book, my husband and I wrote this book to explain step by step what this process is all about. It's called the Rent-to-Own Essential Guide for Home Buyers. It's available on Amazon.ca, and it comes in ebook format, and it also is available as a paperback, which you can order on Amazon.ca. So check it out.
Yeah, and it's a great read, Rachel. I have a copy. So listen, I just want to really thank you. You know, thank you for Joel and Andrea. You know, it's so great to have an option like this, especially in this time of uncertainty. And you know, I want to say to people out there, if you're in a similar situation, you know, if you don't qualify to get the dream property that you want for, you know, could be a variety of reasons, or you don't have the cash to close. I know a lot of people bought pre-construction and it's coming up to the time where they're going to have to buy it and they're a little bit scared and uncertain if now is really the time they want to do that. And these are the kind of things that Rachel and her team can help out with. So I really want to thank you for that. And if you have any questions, if you want my help and if you want to chat about it, you can reach me at Paul at paulhaley.ca. That's me. And so thanks again, Rachel.
Thanks for having me.